Hey everyone, I'm Klloo. Welcome back to my command block project. Here just on a vanilla world that I'm heavily modifying with command blocks. So what are we doing today? Well, we're finally tackling bosses. I've gone ahead and built one of the bosses very ineffectively, so I thought I could scrape through, but if we take a look at the tick leg, so that right hand side, you can see it's definitely not going to handle me having 12 bosses if they're all going to be this size in terms of command blocks. So I will need to convert these all over to normal command blocks and then just use redstone to pulse them. But not a big deal, we can still go over this first boss and then I'll make the changes in between this and the next one. So, what is the boss? Well, can you guess? It was kind of a hint in the little intro sequence. We are working on wolves. So, the boss I've come up with is a pack of 3 wolves. And the way you'd normally summon it is you'd go ahead and you'd rename a name tag Wolf's Bait. And then out in the world you need to go and find a rabbit. Luckily I have eggs. And then name the rabbit. Poof! Rabbit dies and there's a pack of 3 wolves. So you've got Fang, Swift, Lone Cub, and then Ferris is the main boss. And as you can see they have lots of abilities. I've gone ahead and upped the rate at which abilities trigger, just to show them all off. So far, what have they used? They've used Pack Tempo, which is the normal wolf ability, so every wolf can use this ability. Pack Call, Fang calls for the aids of his cubs. Strength of the Pack, Prowl, and Snow. Where are we? Prowl, so Swift hides us up in the shadows. Piercing Fang, Varus rips into a random player. How, this is also another common ability to all wolves. So when I say common ability, I mean this giant tower I gave every mob in the game at least one unique ability. Bosses in general will have 4 abilities. So the main boss has 4 and then both of the side wolves have 2 each. And then there's also a secret mechanism. To make this a bit simpler, I am going to go through them one by one so we can say goodbye. So first up, we'll go through Fang properly. So Fang is essentially an attack entity. So if we get his data, and he stops using abilities, I should probably turn off while we go through this. He has a few custom ones. He has higher health, speed, etc. Well, health he usually has 100 HP. I've cut to 10 so that I can clean up easily. As for abilities, he's got 2. Pack Call, like I said, and Fortifying. So he either gives every other wolf nearby strength, or he summons another wolf to join in the fight. So fairly simple. We kill him pretty easy. 2 hits. We're all done. The other mini-boss, so to speak, was Swift. Swift also has 2 abilities, of course, and is more of a quicker, so less HP, and then stealthy, obviously. So its first ability it's used is Prowl. The Prowl, Swift hides herself in the shadows, and then she also has Pack Tempo, like every wolf, it's common to them. Then if she'll use her other ability, pretty sure she's still, well, she'd have to be in here. She can't jump out, obviously. Essentially, she should have, beat me to it. She has a heal, so Swift heals any wolves nearby, so it doesn't include her. Obviously, you want to, in sense of a boss fight, take her out first. I guess he is gone. Interesting. Well, we can do it that way. Oh, you got behind me. Interesting. And then for the main boss. So, we've got Lone Cub on top, and Ferris down underneath. So, first main ability that we get shot off is Strength of the Pack. So, being near one another increases the strength of each wolf. So, this works off of the other 2. So, if, for instance, Fang was nearby, she'd get buffed a certain way. If Swift was nearby, she'd get buffed a different way. And if both are nearby, something else happens. Essentially, it's a method for me to make the player want to separate them, or if you're obviously by yourself, focus on dealing with a certain wolf at a time. Gone through and used a few other abilities. I probably don't need to increase the rate at which they activate, to be honest. I don't want to be snowy. So, where were we? So, Strength of the Pact, Piercing Fang, Teleports, and Instant Damage to simulate, obviously, her biting. That's the common one, Snow Dance. Counts as in the snow building up layers of protection. So she'll teleport to, I think, 4 players which obviously if there's only us, only happens once and gets absorption. We also have snowfall, places powdered snow at every entity within a, well, X radius, I guess. So it'd be a lot more useful if there's a lot more wolves. Yeah, so pretty simple. And then, like I said, there's a secret hard mode, so to speak. So I want to make a special mechanic for each boss that you can essentially trigger to get better drops, but also a more difficult fight. We go ahead and grab a bow. The way to trigger the hard mode, if you could probably guess, is to kill the cub. The cub does have a bit extra HP, so if you were smart, you would kill the boss and then tame the cub, because the cub doesn't use any abilities. Stop teleporting. There we go. So eventually, she should trigger an enrage. Right, there we go. Raged. So obviously a fiery effect to sort of signify that it's a hard mode. And now she has 3 extra abilities and also increased stats. So she does extra damage, has extra HP, extra defense, etc. Of course, she drops better items. And the abilities are quite annoying. Where's one new? So Insight Fear, let's say a terrifying howl, that's what's causing the darkness. Wound Prey, you might notice I have a particle effect triggering. And then also, where's the third one? Pack Hunt. So Ferris commands all nearby wolves to attack the closest place. This will teleport every wolf in a X radius to the player. Essentially a group attack. It's going to be really bad, really difficult. And then the main one, which is this sort of, well, it's redstone dust. It's trying to signify bleeding. The closest I can get is a dot. So I think it's instant damage 1 every 3 seconds is how I'm essentially simulating a bleed dot in Minecraft. Go ahead and do it. I did reduce her health, so we can do it easily. She has 2 extra drops. Sorry, 1 extra drop, but 1 guaranteed drop, as opposed to her normal version. So you're guaranteed to get her soul, which I will use for a later system. I'm thinking we'll go sort of Terraria-esque and give it a use. Itemization was probably one of the biggest hurdles in terms of the bosses. I wasn't quite sure how to essentially blend them into the other systems and give the player a reason essentially to do the bosses. Then I thought about it, and the Wither drops one thing, and then that's it. So I think I've already done a bit better. So you get some nice fancy boots called Wolfspawn, and says maybe there was a better way, obviously hinting at not killing her cub. But they do have healing and swift, so you get haste and regeneration. So pretty good boots that you can also then tinker with further with my other systems. And then the soul, like I said, will be used for something later. Then she has 2 more drops. We will do nice and easily, and I will up the drop rate so we can see what they are. So turn these both to 1 for me. Okay, so every item she can drop should drop. Once you teleport out straight away. Essentially, this wolf will always be on a player. There is no running from this boss. You can stay. So, we got the Immaculate Rabbit Foot. What astounding quality. My idea... Oh, we also got this, but we'll go over that in a second. My idea for this set of drops, so to speak, is they'll each have an item you need to craft one of my passive abilities. So if you've seen the other ones, I made double jumping, skywalking, and a dodge roll for Minecraft. And essentially, you need to defeat a boss in order to get an item to unlock those passive effects. So there's still 9 or so more that I need to build, but I've got them all written down somewhere, so it should be fairly simple. Also quite speedy and very tanky for a wolf, so a very good pet if you want to tame a wolf. One that will actually help you out. Other than that, we also have this Swift Idol. Only an enchanted frame could contain its power. What does that mean? Well, if you've seen my other stuff, I love glow item frames. I essentially use them for almost every mechanic I've built. And the reason for that is because they're obviously a placeable block, but they are also an entity, making them perfect for essentially pinpointing a location to run commands at. But if we go ahead and put the skull into item frame, it is sort of a trophy. And it will give a buff. So in this case, it gives speed, puffs. So every 12 seconds, it will give the player within a set radius, sort of like a beacon, speed 3. So there'll be 12 different trophies that you can unlock, all giving passive effects that you want to set up in your base. Pretty nice, I think. Other than that, that's pretty much it for the boss, I think. There's nothing else I really need to go over. No, not that I can think of. Hope you enjoyed.